Ladies and gentlemen, I hope you enjoy the show. Thank you.
Since I can remember, I've been a part of PAC's family, defending our will, and will do so in the senior team. My love for drums started at PAC's Drum Corps and Showtime United, rocking a drum twice my size. Enjoy the rhythm of my heart as I play for your soul.
My name is Sadiq Simons and I'm representing Bermuda Institute. Ever since I was 4, I've loved playing music. There's a quote by Bill Evans that says, when you play music, you discover something about yourself that you never knew existed. I can relate to this because every time I play, I experience something new. I play a total of 5 instruments: organ, piano, drums, bass, and saxophone. Organ being my favorite. After I graduated from Bermuda Institute, I plan on attending Oakwood University to pursue a degree in music education. Thank you, and please enjoy the show.
In the future, I would like to study sports management and counseling. Thank you. Have a nice day.
Good evening. My name is Shaquille B. Lightboard. I am this year's representative from Mount St. Agnes Academy. To get this position, I've had to work in a lot of leadership roles, such as being the president of the National Honor Society and being an ambassador to Bermuda in the l'Alliance Française de Bermuda scholarship trip. In my free time, I like to draw and make jewelry. I have my own company started up called Jaquil's Jewelry. When I go off to college, I aspire to get my animation degree and bring animation to Bermuda to create an outlet for youth tomorrow.
Honor and pleasure to welcome you all to the 18th annual Alpha Beautillion program. I would also like to acknowledge and highlight family, friends, our judges, repeat patrons, corporate sponsors, and mention a few distinguished guests in attendance. The Junior Minister of Finance, the Honorable Wayne Ferber, JPMP, and the Minister of Public Works, Lieutenant Colonel David Birch, JPMP. Applause again. This year we have 5 bows who have invested time, energy, sweat, and tears for the past 6 months, participating in workshops, community service, developing oratory skills, whose benefits will transcend tonight's show. These are skills for life, and tonight, you witnessed their growth. I would also like to thank you for braving the weather to be with us. The rain today itself should be viewed as symbolic. These 5 bows are nowhere close to the same young men they were at the start of this program. Tonight, you will see the bows regenerated and prepared to showcase their best talents and abilities. Though you may not encourage them all equally tonight, do encourage them all, since they are the next generation of Bermudian excellence, ready to strive towards and lay claim to the best futures they can create. Thank you.
Welcome to the 2019 Alpha Beautillion! I want to bring out my co-host, Mr. Aaron Smith, to come out this side. Give him a round of applause. Ladies and gentlemen. Relax, B.I. Relax, B.I. Aaron, speaking of B.I., how about you introduce some of the schools that's participating in tonight's competition?
Hello. How are you guys? Okay. Is Bermuda Institute here? What about Mount St. Agnes? How about Cedar Ridge? What about the Berkeley Institute? The Impact Mentor Academy! Everybody know? No bias in that statement. There was no bias in that statement. Now, we want to also give it up for our great and fantastic judges. Give them a round of applause. We have Karen Pichetto. Please wave. We have Jonathan White. I know you got one, but please wave that one, please, sir. There you go. Thank you. We got Nana Wilkinson. Kim Wilkinson. And Takesha Wolf. I want to thank you for giving your time. Like it was said in the opening remarks, it was raining and you guys showed up. Give yourselves a round of applause. Because we know that rain in Bermuda is a divine sign from God about whether we show up at all. Right? So just like you and I, we're all here. Please give yourselves another round of applause to support these young men. And as you heard in the demo, the program highlights the journey over a 6-month period. But one thing we really want to highlight is what me and Aaron get to share, an experience, a brotherhood, a fellowship. Even though he went to Bermuda Institute, I still love him as a brother. But without this program, I never would have had a chance to really meet him, to talk with him, to fellowship with him. And so we're so grateful that we could bring ourselves together, not to just be entertained, and you will be entertained, not to be educated, and you will be educated, but to celebrate character. Come on, guys. To say character in our young men. So, as much as the football game was on yesterday, Liverpool never walk alone. Shaking your head is disrespectful. Liverpool never walk alone. Manchester United, I gotta say that. All right. We also want to just highlight the parents of the young men that's involved. Give our parents a round of applause. And so, just so that we give context to the night, we want to make sure you understand everything is not about just tonight. It is a journey of a program, right? And their participation and their execution along the process culminates to the night, and all of the program is scored throughout the program, including tonight. So, Aaron, tell us a little bit about your experience. Okay, if you don't know, I'm Aaron Spencer II. I went to Bermuda Institute, and I participated in the Beautillion in 2017. I happened to win, something special. Okay, to go to the Beautillion, it's a 6-month period. They practice and they help us to improve our writing, our speaking. And as he said, the points for tonight, for the winner and for everyone else, is not just about tonight. There is Toastmasters. You have to attend most of the events. You have to go to Matilda Smith Restaurant, which is one of my favorite parts of it. You just have to show up and do your best. So, yeah.
So, we have a video from one of our sponsors. Thank you to all of our sponsors. Give them a round of applause.
Your resume is usually the first thing a prospective employer sees. Each year, Deloitte, through their Human Resources Department, provides a resume workshop for the Alpha Bros. They're instructed to bring their resumes for critiques. One by one, their resumes are looked over and marked up. The Bows are also given a presentation on resume writing, interview skills, and money management. Ladies and gentlemen, please give Deloitte a loud round of applause for supporting the Alpha Bros.
At this time, we would like to acknowledge the Honorable Premier, Brother David Burke. Please give our Premier a round of applause. And Honorable Dame Jennifer Smith, give her a round of applause. Thank you so much for your participation. So now on to the first contest, the Oratorical contest. Each bowl will be given 5 minutes to discuss the following topic. One of the statistics shared during Mental Health Awareness Month in May was that 1 in 6 people between the ages of 10 to 19 suffer from a mental health disorder. Anxiety and depression are in the top 10 causes of illnesses and disabilities among adolescents globally. And if left untreated, can put a person's health at risk. What can be done in Bermuda to help eradicate the stigma of mental health disorders and encourage more young people to seek help from a professional? And the first person for our oratorical contact is Sadiq Simons.
First person is not Sadiq, it is Miles. So welcome to Miles.
Good evening. What is mental health? Mental health is the combination of your social, psychological, and emotional well-being. When mental health is brought up, people automatically think of the brain and its functions. Although, when I think of mental health, I think about therapy. Therapy is a treatment that one receives when they have a disorder that needs attention. Even though that is what people classify as the main purpose of therapy, it can help with much more. Also, it isn't just for people who are experiencing a mental disorder. It's for anyone. Therefore, to eradicate the stigma of seeking therapeutic support when an individual's mental health is in jeopardy, we must educate society that therapy isn't just for mental disorders, have families be educated on what they can do to help their loved one who is going through therapy, and have those who may be suffering from a stressful situation to seek help. My first point is that we as a society need to be educated more on therapy. Having the facts of what therapy is and what it can do would be beneficial. It's beneficial to someone living a stress-filled life. It could be at work, with family, or relationships. They may need the guidance of a therapist to navigate through the stress and or develop coping strategies to live their best life. It can also build tolerance towards people that feel negative about therapy. My second point will be having the support and help from your family while seeking therapy. I say this because sometimes people receive therapeutic support due to family trouble. If one is going to therapy, I feel it is important that the family should seek therapy as well. The whole family should seek help because when a person comes from a toxic situation caused by the family and they become reformed, they'll have to return back to the same toxic situation, which will most likely cause them to relapse. Hence why I suggest that the family should seek therapy as well, because if the family is not equipped with better skills to deal with the situation, it can cause the whole cycle to repeat itself. The third and final point I have is if a person is enduring a stressful situation, they should consider getting help. Now, this help can be through a friend, but it's better to receive professional help. Here's why. These professionals are trained to help you understand what might be happening with you and give you a solution on how to deal with it. Asking for help is not always easy because as a man, we are taught to be strong and show no signs of weakness. Also to hide your feelings and emotions, but we have to retain ourselves and know that it's okay to share our feelings and ask for help. In conclusion, the best way to eradicate the stigma of seeking therapeutic support is to educate ourselves on its importance, give families information to help support the one seeking therapy, and to be able to ask for help when needed. Our goal is to be the best person we can be. Asking for help can be a phone call away to a less stressful life. Thank you.
Give it up for Miles Smith from Superman Academy. And now, next up that we have for you is Demetrius Richardson from the Barclay Institute.
I am mentally ill. I suffer from mental health problems. From the ages of 10 to 19, those statements are true. But there is tons of stigma around mental health. In contemporary society, stigma is the attitude people often have as a mark of disgrace associated with a circumstance, quality, illness, or person. Consequently, individuals who suffer from mental health illnesses are often conceptualized as people who portray deranged behavior, and we discriminate, look bad upon, or distance ourselves away from them. Anxiety cannot be visually seen by just walking with someone in school. Depression cannot be visually seen by just walking with someone in school. Psychological unbalance cannot be visually seen by sitting with someone in class. Adolescents globally suffer from a mental health disorder. However, as prevalent as this is, persons are not seeking help. In Bermuda, this is evident. Young people suffer the most from the stigma of mental illness. As a result, it is stopping today's teens from seeking professional help. Bermuda, this is something we need to address. The accustomed reaction to observing that a person has a mental health disorder is derived from the lack of knowledge around such a sensitive topic. Research has shown that there are countless myths and misconceptions that develop throughout Bermuda about mental illness. Words defaming persons with mental health disorders from family or friends have been a result of such. There are numerous negative and biased reports about mental health issues throughout the newspapers, the news, and unrealistic projections on television. Hence, this is mental health. Mental illness is not a sign of weakness. Even you have a 1 in 4 chance of developing a disorder. So what can be done, Bermuda? Mental health has been a growing topic, and there are abundant organizations and overall promotion of such to educate the public about mental disorders. However, the view of mental health does not shift. Therefore, I recommend a way to make today's stigma something that is outdated. There now needs to be a means of being open and assuring to the population that being mentally unfit is implausible. Now, as it is affecting adolescents across the island, I suggest that we do something directly in the schools. Having a close quarter session with students led by a guidance counselor, directly talking to each other about their experiences and concerns about mental health would host numerous benefits. In addition to providing knowledge, I envision that this would encourage students to not only seek help, but to develop an open mind, realize that they are not alone, encourage one another to seek help, and to ensure that their actions or words do not hinder someone else's attempt to get help. Now, as a society, we must show that we care. Letting teenagers know that the island is there for them mentally would encourage them to take a step further in seeking professional help. But first, I have a challenge. Share with your neighbor, your colleague, your son or your daughter, your personal experience with mental health, and have an open discussion about it. Be vulnerable. Because your experience is vital, your words and how you say it directly moves the minds of the ages between 10 to 19. This would encourage them to become more kind-hearted to mental health. I encourage you to shift your view on mental health. It is real, and it is growing within our community. Thank you.
Give it up for Demetrius Richardson. I remember when he was in my after-school program, and to see him tonight just made my heart fill with joy, and also see him in my basketball program. The same way he said the drum was twice the size, the basketball was twice the size. But he has grown. So proud of him. And next, we have Sadiq Simons from Bermuda.
As stated by the Bermuda Hospitals Board, in ancient Greece, bodily signs or stigmata were cut or burned into people's bodies to mark them as different. Today we use the word stigma to refer to the attitude people often have towards individuals who suffer from mental illnesses. We view these individuals in a less favorable regard and negative manner. How often does our assumption change when we find out that they have schizophrenia, depression, mania, or anxiety? When we as a people criticize individuals in our community who appear to be different from our normal circles of influence, we sometimes cause them to feel rejected. We would serve our community better by being our brother's keeper and looking for ways in which we can assist those who are mentally and even socially challenged. We need to educate and arm ourselves with resources that will help to discourage negative behavior towards the mentally ill persons in our community. We need to be willing to stand alone and shut down our family members and friends when they make ignorant and preconceived comments about others. I have been in school long enough to know that students call each other names, often use the titles of mental illnesses, and think it's a joke. For example, everybody knows this one. That guy's retarded, man. Just imagine how that causes one to feel, who may be suffering from mental illness. They would even feel more stigmatized than they initially did. With every action, there is a consequence, which can determine the failure or success of our young people in our community. Many people believe that mental illness is a sign of weakness, or as a result of laziness or a lack of willpower. We think that sufferers should be able to just snap out of it, and we don't take it seriously when someone opens up. This is an assumption that most of us make and do not realize it. Here's an example. A friend comes to you and says, I've been feeling really stressed, down, and upset lately, and I feel kind of hopeless. What would you say to your friend? When people do express their feelings, we sometimes have insensitive responses such as, don't think about it, think positive. I know how you feel. Count your blessings. I believe all of us have used one of these phrases, including myself. I've said, I know how you feel, believing that I was being empathetic. But according to Psychom.net, Although this statement is empathetic and meant to help the depressed person feel understood, it can backfire. There is a significant difference between clinical depression and sadness, which we normally have a hard time knowing the difference. There are no perfect answers when it comes to supporting friends or loved ones with depression. A question can be just as helpful as statements when the depressed person opens up. Try a few of these empathetic responses. How can I help you during this difficult time? I'm sorry that you're hurting. Can I keep you company? To get rid of the stigma amongst our young people, in Bermuda, we must start with the adults. After all, everything that the youth do is a byproduct of the adults in their circle, and I mean everything. First, meetings and information sessions need to be held in places of work to inform all employees about the seriousness of mental illnesses, and that it should not be taken lightly. In April of this year, the Department of Health put on an initiative, Commit to Change, to encourage healthy living, emotionally, mentally, and physically, in one's personal and professional settings. One of the workshops held was on mental illness in the workplace. There are organizations in our community that provide training to staff on how to identify signs of mental illnesses and how to safely approach one suffering from it. Future mandatory workshops should be held by the Bermuda government and private businesses. Employees should be given homework in the form of a pamphlet about everything that was shared in the workshops, and have them share it with their children. They should also be required to hand in the pamphlet to their supervisor on the next working day with their child's signature. If they fail to hand in said homework, their pay should be deducted. For those who do not have children, they should be required to discuss it with another family member. I believe that in order for anything to change Bermuda, the change must start in the homes. Adults must lead by example and train their children to be caring, loving, and productive members of their community. Also, if your mental health concerns impair your ability to maintain daily function, then you need to ask for help. This is not a matter of shame or pride, but rather a quality of life. The change starts here, and I am here to help the initiative. Thank you, and thank you for listening.
Up next, we have Antonio Carvalho from Impact Mentoring Academy.
That joke is phenomenal. Even though, by giving this question, it's really sad that kids have to go through depression and anxiety. Like me, I have to go through mental health issues and anxiety and depression as the top 10 causes of it. Tonight, I'm going to help you guys understand that we should, as a country, help our youth to feel like they are not just outsiders. They don't have to feel like they don't have to seek help. Then I'm going to give you some ideas as us as Bermudians can help them. One way to reduce mental illness related stigma is having a talk. Back then, there used to be like cancer was the taboo of the talk to not have because of how personal it can get. Cancer was the bad talk about through open and honest conversations. Cancer became destigmatized. The more we talk about mental health conditions, the more normalized it becomes. Starting the conversation is the first step because it helps us start something. Then the next thing is to be respectful with your language, and what I mean by that is that words can be meaningful and helpful at the same time. We just need to know how to keep that calm energy together so that they can get through this. For example, at my school we have this thing called circle time. And it's specifically designed to bring out something that has happened today that was bad and to address it in a calm, friendly manner. Another way is to start supporting. Supporting other people can be challenging, especially when you don't understand their struggle. It's hard to know what to say, and sometimes it can feel like a lot of pressure, but your support can have a life-saving ending. Changes as feeling support is one of the most essential aspects for every person in recovery. And I certainly believe that mental health is a huge issue in this world. And if you have a loved one or just a close friend, I believe that you should send them to a professional for help. It is a huge deal that you need to send a professional, and I know that doing that will be hard for you, and you know that they'll get the attention they need. I myself have suffered anxiety. It's not a good thing at all. To the point where I even passed on the football field. I was thinking, am I gonna die? Am I not gonna see my parents again? But it was to the point where my heart was beating too fast in my body, and I just collapsed. For me to talk about this in a public opening can help open up doors for other people that are going through this. Thank you. Have a good night.
Next we have Jakio Bean Lightborn from Mount St. Agnes Academy.
Health, a crucial building block to a long, successful life. In Buddhist culture, the strengthening of physical and mental health is what is needed to reach nirvana or total enlightenment. However, in today's society and culture, unlike physical health, mental health has been highly neglected by most of the population, and many cases have been left untreated in the millennial and Gen Z generations. Why? Because there is a stigma created around getting therapy for mental health and disorders. I believe that there are 3 distinctive factors that aid in formulating and strengthening this stigma. Firstly, the lack of government involvement. Our government does not seem to care as much about our mental health as it does our physical health. For example, the sugar tax. A government-mandated tax that strives to ensure the physical well-being of Bermudians by raising the price of sugary goods, hoping that it will be a deterrent. We can compare this to the high prices for therapeutic care. Instead of having increased price to assist in change, this high price prohibits the community from receiving benefits for mental health. It also doesn't allow for members who are less fortunate to be able to seek the therapy that they need. Secondly, the questioning of validity of mental health issues in today's youth. One common saying in my generation that we hear a lot is, you aren't old enough to feel stress, or you do not know what real sadness is like. I believe that this comment is derived from a lacking of understanding of how the world is changing. Each generation has their stressors. In the previous generations, there were stressors such as the house market crisis, the Great Depression, World Wars I and II, and these are all valid stressors and will cause mental strain. However, this generation has its stresses as well. This generation has an increasing amount of student debt. It is aware that the resources that we have been taught to grow up on and rely on, such as coal and fossil fuels, are depleting. And it is more aware of the extinction rates and the deaths caused by natural disasters and global warming. I believe that these are adequate stressors. And through globalization and the development of social media, we are getting this information, this bad news, at a younger age, leading to earlier cases of disorders such as depression. For example, if I were to say there's an 80-year-old man that has been working a desk job for 40 years, and he says, my back hurts, then I take a 30-year-old man that has been working construction for 15 years, and he also says, my back hurts. Are they both valid? Yes. Both of these instances are valid, even though they have different time periods and different circumstances. And finally, pride. Bermuda is a small, close-knit society where everybody knows everybody and everybody sees everything. I remember one day after I got my bike, my mama said, you best not speed, and if you do, oh no, I'm got eyes everywhere. You know what happened? I got home the next day. Oh, Carla saw you riding. She said you look very nice. It is this close-knit society that causes the hesitation about getting treatment for ourselves or our children, because nobody wants to be that mother that has to admit that their son needs therapy. Nobody wants to be that father that wants to admit that their daughter has depression. It is our pride that prohibits us from seeking help, even if we are aware. And when something is left neglected, it has room to get worse. If not caught earlier, a simple sadness for a time of loss or a loss of a parent can lead to crippling depression. For example, if I were to say that I know I have a cancerous cyst, would it not be better to act immediately? Or would I let the pride of knowing that I have a cancerous cyst and not wanting anybody else to know, let it linger on and become a more pressing issue in the future? In conclusion, I believe that to eradicate the stigma around seeking help from therapy for mental disorders is to encourage more government involvement, to appreciate that the struggles that the youth go through today are valid and are real, and to consider the well-being of ourselves and our children over the social pressures and societal pressures that we have on ourselves to look good. Thank you.
Let's give it up for the field. Come on, give a round of applause for all of our contestants. And before we transition, I do want to make sure I give a shout out to our Greek fraternity sorority family. Give it up for the Divine Nine. Any Kappas out there? My AKAs, they're serving in the front. There we go, there we go, there we go. Our Deltas. Yes, but we must give it up for the men of the black and gold, the oldest and the coldest Alpha Phi Alpha Fraternity Incorporated. Give them a well-rounded applause. Well done. With that said, we actually have a member, Honorable David Burke, you can come and just give us your remarks at this time. Please give him a round of applause, our premier, as he comes.
They didn't tell me I'd be speaking at the Oratorical contest. It's a little bit of pressure, especially with all that clapping. Someone said something about the sugar tax. I'm now going to give my remarks, and I hope that I will speak as well as the 5 young men who just finished speaking. Good evening. It is a pleasure to be here tonight to offer brief remarks at the 18th Annual Alpha Beautillion. Tonight, we celebrate 5 young men who over the past 6 months have committed themselves to furthering their development. Jaquio Bean Lightbourne, Antonio James Carvello, Sadiq Simons, Miles Smith, and Demetrius Richardson. Since its inception, the Alpha Beautillion has been a cornerstone community event, produced by the Epsilon Theta Lambda chapter of my fraternity, Alpha Phi Alpha Fraternity Incorporated. We have seen dozens of young men complete the program, including a large number of the active brothers of this chapter. And as we have just witnessed, these young men are full of intellect and confidence. As a member of the Alpha Phi Alpha Fraternity, I am filled with pride to see the fruits of the countless hours which have been invested to equip these young men to be future leaders and positive contributors to our society. And as Premier of Bermuda, I am warmed to know that positive seeds have been planted. These young men are the next generation of leaders who will assume the roles of doctor, lawyer, business owner, supreme entertainers, and hopefully one day, my job, premier. As a relatively, and I have to say relatively because I've crossed the age of 40, as a relatively young black man, I am proud to see these young black men displaying such positive qualities that can dispel many elements of the negative narrative that is perpetuated by some. In closing, I would like to say that it would be remiss if I did not congratulate the president of the chapter, Dr. Timothy Jackson, and the many alphas who have contributed to ensure this evening was a success. To the parents, family, supporters, and fellow students of these 5 talented young men, we know that it takes a village to raise a child and support young men. We congratulate and thank you for all of your investment in help, time, energy, and moral support to ensure that these 5 young men are on the path for success. So give yourselves a round of applause. We look forward to these young men taking their rightful places in our society in the coming years. Thank you for your attention, and I hope that you enjoy the rest of the evening.
Thank you, Mr. Premier. After this short video of one of our sponsors, Beautillion and Alice, we'll have a 10-minute intermission, and refreshments will be sold in the back, so after this short video.
Butterfield and Dallas may be known as one of Bermuda's largest distributors, but you may not know they have been big supporters of the Alpha Beautillion. Each year, the Alpha Bows visit the Vesey Street location to see how products are distributed island-wide. Upon arriving, they are given a tour of the facility and then are partnered with warehouse staff. They then get hands-on experience in filling orders, finding products, and packing the trucks for the road. It was pretty labor-intensive and involved a lot of lifting. They didn't seem to mind getting their hands dirty while they learned how hundreds of products are delivered island-wide.
Hey everybody, welcome to Beautiful and Dallas. Takesha Apparel, HR strategist for the company. This is our 4th year of entertaining the Alpha Beautillion program and seeing the young man come through and see our warehouse. It's been a great experience so far. They're out at work, so we'll see how they make it up. We're just glad to be able to support the program for the 4th year in a row. So all the best when you're serving tonight and getting it done.
Let's all give Butterfield and Dallas a round of applause for supporting the Alpha Beautillion.
Well, next is the talent portion, right? And if you didn't know, my co-host is quite talented himself. If you may not know, I play the saxophone a little bit, but if you haven't heard this guy, like, you haven't heard the saxophone. Okay, let's come on, Chris, come on. Show him a little something. That's it. Chris, I thought that was you. Man, what happened, bro? Let me see if I can show how to play saxophone for real. Let's see if I still got it.
So, sound booth, remember the KFC we talked about at intermission? You're not getting it! Disrespectful. Welcome back to the 2019 album Beautillion. Give yourself a round of applause! Have to cheer myself up. We will have a quick video before we bring out our first talent, so please pay attention to the screen.
One of the most moving and emotional times for the Alpha Bows is visiting the Matilda Smith Williams Seniors residence near T Street.
When I first came here, I was really nervous. I wasn't expecting to learn a lot from it, but being here, I've been able to hear stories and experience people's lives of the past and like really relate to people, even though like I don't know all of their history and I don't know most of them. I was able to connect on a different level just by serving them and helping them in their lives right now.
It's a rare opportunity for young men to spend time in the company of senior citizens they don't know and to learn their stories and words of wisdom.
My experience with Matilda Smith was very eye-opening to see how much of we're not with seniors here. Inside State. Seeing that they actually had to live the life, I always thought it was like a jail here, that they couldn't do anything they want, but they actually get through anything they want. Feeding food was good. It's nice to give back to the community.
The Bows get to experience situations that they wouldn't ordinarily put themselves in, like feeding a senior and watching over them. Some of the Bows grow strong bonds with their new friends at the residence.
Mingling with the residents is really fun to me. Just the other day, Miss Rosie, we had some music playing on the radio, and she just started getting up and dancing. And so I went and joined her, and we really had a good time, you know, taking her around the circles, spinning her and everything. It was different to do different things for other people as well. I really enjoyed serving them and sometimes feeding them. It opened my eyes to life beyond my age bracket.
And on Mother's Day, they recite poems, sing, and play instruments for all of the mothers there.
My experience at Matilda Smith has been a really good one because I've got to know so many seniors and I got to realize how some of us don't really get the truth how we get when we get older. But I like to see that some of them, there's some that smiles on their faces and they get the joke and stuff like that. And also, I've had a good experience with the staff and helping them out and do stuff like washing dishes and having conversations with them.
It's very heartwarming, heartfelt, and appreciated by all the seniors. It's an eye-opening experience as the Bows reflect on their moments in different ways.
The seniors are amazing. There's so much fun to be around. They're so full of antics that you wouldn't see unless you like have a senior in your house. But like it was a lot of fun, and I'm happy I got to do this.
Ladies and gentlemen, this time let's give the Alpha Bows a round of applause for their service at the Matilda Smith Williams Senior Residence.
Yeah, the Matilda Smith rest home is one of my favorite parts of when I was an Alpha Bow. And I still go over there every so often to play my saxophone just to put a smile on the face. And I encourage the Bows now to, even when this event is done, just to go check up on the residents and just to put a smile on their face.
Yeah, you kept hearing eye-opening experience, and that's what it's all about, is let them understand that there's a world outside of the world that they know. And now it's time for us to transition to our talent show portion. Give it up for all of our bowls as they get prepared to show you their amazing talents. And first up from Bermuda Institute, Sadiq Simons. for Sadiq Simon. Kind of remind me of like basketball and saxophone at the same time. I saw myself doing both.
That's fair, that's fair.
So this next student for me, I just want to highlight the tremendous man that he is. He has overcome his challenges and adversity. He has overcome so many things. And I'm so grateful and thankful for the opportunity to present Impact Mentoring Academy's very own Mr. Antonio Carvello. Give him a round of applause.
Sorry, technical difficulties. I was an ugly baby. I'm going to talk to you about my life, these struggles I had to go through. At 3, my papa gave me my first football, and I fell in love with it ever since. After that, many years later, at 9, my father left me. I always wondered why. What did I do to deserve this? Does he know how I feel? Of course not. But I hope things will change in the future. I get to meet him, get to ask him the questions that I want to know. After that, it was 11. I talked to him finally. He didn't really give me an answer. He just said, I'll be there next time. And I said to myself, he ain't gonna be there. I said, I don't really let that define me. I don't really let that stop me from succeeding in life until you see me now. At 15, I played in football in Barcelona, Spain for a small team, Cornell. I played in huge tournaments. There's a tournament called MIC, Mediterranean International Cup, where I played against Real Madrid, Barca, United, Chelsea, City. It was a great experience for me. Throughout them times, I want to go back. I want to go back to see my old friends. I want to go back to see my old coaches. I learned a little bit of Spanish too. You guys didn't hear me in the intro. Little flex right there. I think it was 16, I came back to Bermuda. I went to MSA, Muncie Agnes Academy, failing all subjects besides PE, had all Fs. Then I came to Impact. First thoughts of Impact, all boys school. Where's the girls? I was told there's no girls there. I wanted to get on my bike and leave quick, but then my teacher stopped me, Christopher Conklin. He stopped me and said, you could do it. You could get through this. No girls, because I know looking back now, I'll get distracted. I won't focus on my work until now you see me standing here in front of you guys. Probably won't even be here. I think it is, 3 years now? I've been at Impact. It's taught me a lot, maturity and leadership-wise. I'm a level 3 leader, the highest leadership at Impact. Again. Comes with a lot of perks too. Grateful for that. Right now I have a solid 3.7 GPA. I got I think what 7,000 scholarship money, and I hope that I make my parents proud, which I probably am right now, my whole family. What I can say about Impact is that it's helped me not just become like an outsider, just because it's an all-boys school, just because of the reputations had before. Scratch all that. I think it's like the best institution for all boys. I think that a lot of young men can also benefit from the school through the issues they had in their life
into like taking it further into job interviews and job opportunities, which I had. Working with Mr. Crumpler, I got opportunities at Air Care. I didn't really take it because it's not really for me. It's giving me, I think the Air Care rewards is paid 4 years Bermuda College, get money, and have a skill under my plate. But I don't think that's not really designed for me. I had to go and make me proud. And I think I'll be attending North Carolina A&T in the summer. And I hope to help, by this speech, I hope to help young men in Bermuda strive for success and determined. And I hope that if you want to become a better man, just go do impact. Thank you very much. Have a good night.
Next up, we have from the Berkeley Institute. Were you as good as you were at the saxophone? Or,
Respect, young man. Respect.
all right, bro.
I was pretty good. This is how we played. See, I'm an 80s baby. This is how we played in the 90s. How we played drums in the 90s. Hey, I had some real concerns about this crowd with the whole clap situation. That was disturbing. I was like, where am I right now? I feel like I'm at Tech Hall at Google or something. This is not some soul in this room. Just in case my ear was off, because I can have an off ear on a Sunday. May not rest of the week, but Sunday sometimes my ear off because I rest. Praise the Lord, hallelujah, thank you, Jesus. Yes. But everybody needs grace and y'all definitely need mercy. So we're going to try this one more time. And I just want to see if y'all can clap together. I just want to see if that's actually possible. Oh, shots fired. Shots fired up top. Disrespectful. Okay, being that's the case, Aaron, let's give everybody an opportunity to work together in clapping. All right, here we go. 1, 2, 3, go.
I was dead like 3 years ago, bro.
I'm an 80s baby. Come on now. Yeah, come on. What my 90s, 80s people in the house? Exactly. Respect, young man. Now, I want to highlight real quickly, is looking back, I know all of the past 3 talent. Demetrius for years, and Sadiq plays at my church. And then Mr. Carvello, wasn't that powerful, Mr. Carvello? As talented and how blessed I was to witness that, I'm sure you was, but we must stop and pause for the cause and celebrate the parents of those gentlemen. Can the parents please stand? Can we have the parents please stand? Come on, parents! Now, but the reality is, the #1 teacher in all of our lives is our homes. And those parents did an amazing job preparing the young men to enjoy today.
Okay, now on to the next. From MFC, we have, what's his name? Jaquio.
Let's go, give it up for Jaquio.
Take me to the beat.
Give it up for Mount St. Agnes representing people working out. I'm so proud of you guys. I'm so proud of you guys. The clap portion came and you did it. Give yourselves a round of applause. Awesome. And you know, I love this brother, but I'm an 80s baby. And he poked jab at my dad. But this is when you learn your age. When you see people dance, you realize I am old because I'm not working it out with some of those moves. I will be dabbing and waving, but he worked it out. Give it up for another round of applause.
Up next we have from Cedar Bridge, Miles Smith.
competition and Miles Smith from Cedar Ridge Academy. Once again, I just look at that totally different now. All I saw was back pain. All I saw was back pain the entire time. Now, we're getting ready for Q&A, but first, we'll have a little demonstration. Y'all ready? Disrespectful.
I have a question. How old are you?
Hold on, no, the crowd has to be ready first. Are you ready?
I've got a few questions off the dome, you know. First question is, how old are you? Because you're a little older.
Next question.
Again, how old are you? I didn't hear that one. Sorry.
Next question.
Okay. What year did you graduate from high school?
2001 Lakewood High School, baby!
Okay, another one. What high school did you go to?
I remember that for later.
What high school did you go to?
I just said Lakewood High School.
Oh, okay. Where's that? Where's that? Sorry.
Ocklawaha, Florida!
Oh, a lot of support.
I'm feeling a lot of love in this room, man. I'm feeling real supported. So let's do a brainwash right now. Let's pretend I'm one of the students. And when they answer the question, pretend when they answer the question, you're going to actually enjoy it. Wait until I answer the question. It's your last time. Strike 3, you're out.
I believe you're a basketball coach. Are you any good as an actual player? No shade. No shade. Maybe a little bit of shade, but not shade.
See, this is the problem with this generation. They're just so disrespectful. He didn't have to even ask me that question because you can Google me.
Excuse me? I'm sorry.
I was a good player.
That's not fair because you're brainwashing. That's not fair.
No, they did that because they love me.
We're going to go with that answer.
Next question.
That's fair.
Last one.
Let's think about this one. Bosa? Alexa? Oh, Alexa! Okay.
See, this generation, right? This generation is always late to the party. And I ain't talking about the party.
I was like, where's Alexa?
Exactly.
Okay,
so you have Google do all your homework and you don't do it yourself.
I mean, I would do that, but it wouldn't get the answers. So you're a brother of the Alpha Phi Alpha. When did you get into that, and how has it been since you've been a brother?
Yeah, I got in officially in the spring of 2009, and I crossed here at the local chapter of Epsilon Theta Lambda, chapter of Bermuda. Give it up for that chapter. And like many others, I thought it was a big show and puff, and I was like, I am not interested on any level at all. Please leave me alone. And Dwayne Kane said, do your homework, do your research, and come to an informational session. I said, okay, Kane Z, I'll do it. And I did it, and I was blown away at Dr. King, what he did through the fraternity. I was blown away by Thurgood Marshall. I was blown away by the founders and how they fought racism at Cornell University, and how they stuck together to make sure they studied, that they all passed, and they all would be safe, and nobody harassed or hang or lynch them. And I was just so moved by what they did in the community, and not just talking, and that the stepping and that the celebration was just a celebration of acts that people had did for years. And so I'm so grateful to be part of an incredible fraternity, Alpha Phi Alpha Fraternity Incorporated. And now, led by Aaron himself, we will now have our portion of the talent, what we call Q&A session. The judges are preparing at this time. And this particular portion, they have no idea what they're going to be asked. They have no idea. We got the question 5 minutes ago.
Maybe 2. It wasn't 5.
And because of his generation, on his phone, that font is super small. So I'm gonna let him read the question.
Okay, 1 second.
Hold on, can we do that right now?
No, I don't think we can.
No,
Let's
can't do that.
Let's go with the accent question.
Yeah, see, that's called seniorship, son. That's called seniorship.
I mean, but you suggested it.
I'm aware of my environment.
He suggested it.
Let's stop. I was trying to empower my young people.
Okay.
So as the judges prepare, judges, are we ready? Ready? Okay, got the thumbs up for the judges. So at this time, all the contestants will be asked a question, and we're getting it clear from the back. We're good. Just because there want to be no conflict of interest, I'm going to do the first contestant. And so we ask that you please be quiet during the question because they have to process. So I heard this earlier, phones, vibrate them please at this time.
Or silence.
Or silence. Nobody cuts them off anymore. All right? But please silence your phones. And we also ask, whatever they answer, whenever they're finished, please celebrate them. Because everybody has different anxiety levels and things of that nature. But we want to encourage them no matter what, to be proud, to stay strong, and give a good answer. All right? So I want to take my cue to the seat.
Before you get started with the question and answer, we're going to have a short video of the boys going to karate or martial arts, some form of martial arts. Just going to get that up. See, he forgot that his old.
Disrespectful.
In every endeavor, discipline is required. Being an Alpha Bro is no different. They have many engagements during the Alpha Beautillion program. It was a grueling workout for the Bros, learning to punch, kick, and block. Some of them realized that their fitness levels needed some work. It was blood, sweat, and tears for about 2 hours. In the end, the Bros had fun and enjoyed the workout. We're not sure if they'll go back for more. Please give the Northern Shaolin Kung Fu School of Bermuda a round of applause for their support of the Alpha Beautillion.
So first we have from the Bermuda Institute, Sadiq Simons. Sorry for that technical difficulty. So as you know, I will give you a question, and you do have a chance for it to be repeated. If you don't hear me clearly, then please take your time. Are you ready? Yes. An element of our program has been volunteering at Matilda Smith. How do we get more young people engaged in volunteering initiatives?
Okay, please repeat the question.
An element of our program has been volunteering at Matilda Smith. How do we get more young people engaged in volunteering initiatives?
I believe that we can get more of our young people involved in volunteering initiatives by showing them not to be too self-centered and not to be too selfish, because they never know how, with Matilda Smith Institute of Seniors, they never know how they will end up at the later years of their lives, and helping them to realize that people will get helping them to realize that seniors don't choose how they are going to live the rest of their lives. So getting young people to be less self-centered and help them to get more involved in the community and help them to realize that there are other people that need certain needs. So, yes.
Thank you.
So now from the Barclay Institute, we have Demetrius Richard. Actually, sorry, my bad. Actually, we have Antonio Carvalho from Impact Mentoring Academy. Oh wow. So it's taking a little long. So how are you guys doing today? Let me just tell you a secret. When I did this, this question and answer, I think was my worst part. The question I wasn't ready for, okay? And I said something, I don't think it really made sense afterwards. I was like, what? I was like, what did they say? You know, like you answer something and then midway through, you're like, wow.
I could definitely see that happening. Making a keen observation.
That was not the funnest part at all. Yeah, because you don't get to prepare, you know, just on the spot and just gotta let it go, let it flow.
Sad moment in his life, for sure. Unfortunate as well for us to listen to that.
Please put some respect to my name. Thank you. You're acting unusual. This is beyond me.
So, question.
Answer.
How do we improve our co-host on the Opportunity Show?
He has jokes. He should have been a comedian. You know what I'm saying? Like, I think that was your true quality.
I must exit at this time. Thank you for your time.
Okay, now, from Impact Mentoring Academy, we have Antonio Carvalho. Look sharp in your suit.
Thank you. You too.
I was giving you points, so I give you a little bonus for that shit. Okay. An element of your program has been volunteering at Matilda Smith. How do we get more young people engaged in volunteering initiatives like this?
Can you repeat the question, please?
Of course I can. An element of your program has been volunteering at Matilda Smith. How do we get more young people engaged in volunteering initiatives?
In my opinion, I think social media has an effect in it. I think if we put out Matilda Smith out in the public, I think the young people in Bermuda will help actually go see them as much. And I think that it would be more, they'll feel more safe, and they always, I don't complain a lot that we don't really get their grandchildren if they come and see them. I think that social media is a big part of that.
Okay, thank you. Look who's back, wow. Okay, gotcha.
Notice that he went to Impact Mentoring Academy. And I'm pretty sure of assessing your question and his question. He did quite well. Yes. He did very well. Say it again because I don't think they really heard you. Project your voice, young man. I want to hear the Bermuda Institute alum say that the Impact Mentoring Academy student did very well. Say that really loud.
I said it twice, but he did well. So he did very well. I'll say it 3 times.
So give him must be something about the leadership at Impact. Something must be going on there. That's probably what it is.
Sure didn't have to do with that. I think it's probably the home, as you spoke. I'm just gonna go out on a limb and say they like me better than you.
That's a keen observation.
Yeah, very keen.
I'm gonna leave it now. I'm gonna leave at this time.
Good time. Oh. Now from the Barclay Institute, we have Demetrius Richardson. You doing all right?
Yeah, I'm good.
An element of your program has been volunteering or tourism. How do we get more young people engaged in volunteering initiatives?
Giving back has numerous benefits and can show selflessness. It can build traits of communication. It can actually grow the community. By being selfless, it has taught me personally that there's no need to be selfish. You can share with everyone, and everyone has a unique part to play when giving back. Thank you.
I'm just impressed. I gotta say, when I was in high school, I didn't have confidence. I always had swag. Always had swag. Swag was there since '83.
Always is a very strong word.
But the confidence in high school. See, this was probably this generation. I'm talking everybody that's raised in a different time. When I talk, what does he do? Hello, somebody. I feel like preaching. See, listening is a very important skill, very important art, and some haven't acquired that yet.
I mean, you have a few years on me, so I'm still learning. Like you have a head, so you're learning of listening. It's quite better, just because of the years.
You know what else the problem with the generation is? Excuses. No accountability. The first thing you should have said was, I apologize. Interrupted me during my public statement. But no.
I don't want to lie. You know, I don't want to say I apologize, but I don't mean it.
The disrespect. See, this is the problem with this generation. So, this is where I move to a third intervention. I'm gonna pray for you, brother.
I'm not mad at you.
Pray for this.
I'll pray for you too. Hopefully they get a better co-host next year.
Yes, and I'm the host, and you're the co-host.
Okay. From Monsignor Agnes, we have Jaquio Bean Lightman. You alright this evening? Having fun?
Yeah.
You glad it's in myself?
Not really.
Oh, well, I was glad. Okay. An element of your program has been volunteering at mentorship. How do we get more young people engaged in volunteering initiatives?
In pertaining to getting young people more into spending time with the previous generation, I feel that it's important for programs like this to be brought out where we have a role to do. Some select individuals have a role where they are forced into this environment, and we can come out with the benefits and with the experience. And that first instigation, I've told a lot of my friends that this program really helped me because the older generation has taught me so much about speaking, about school, about my country in general. And I feel that they have also been inspired to connect with the previous generation. So I believe that these micro instances of individuals getting involved with the older generation is what can aid in the future for more individuals to get into the program of maybe going to Matilda Smith or other old homes on the island and learning like I have.
he said in his answer that I thought was quite keen for this moment, and that was learning from the older generation. That was a very important point. Did you? Yes, I did. So there's one thing to observe a point, it's another thing to take it in. I encourage you.
I took it in, you know, because I love old rest, like people at the restroom, and old people like you as well. And you've given me some wisdom just in your short time being here, you know. Not as much as them, you know, the people that live in Smith, but it's something.
The sarcasm.
Me sarcastic?
Patronizing. Disrespectful.
I think that's his favorite word, disrespectful. How much time did you use it tonight? Like 110?
Well, we know he can't count.
I need to start, having better comebacks, because the last 2 times he left, I was kind of disrespectful. He needs to start putting respect on my name. But that's cool. I'll finish it off. All right. From Cedar Bridge, we have Miles Smith. Oh yeah, man, I like this socks. Shoot.
That's really was planned.
An element of your program has been volunteering at Matilda Smith. How do we get more young people engaged in volunteering initiatives?
I feel the best way to have more young people participate in volunteering stuff is to have them inspired, be inspired to do so. Like if there was something that could cause their interest to be sparked, I feel like that would be a good way to get them into doing so. And even having their friends inspire them to do so. So yeah, I think that's how we could do that.
Okay, thank you. Drops mic. I think that's what I have to do. Chris drop mic and just walk off. That's my bedtime.
Give it up for our Beautillion. They did a great job at Q&A session. And give it up for my co-host. Did a great job. Yes, he needs encouragement. Well done. Yeah. Well done. All right. So at this time, like this fantastic young man to my left, and I truly mean it. We have any other bows in the house? I thought I saw a bow up there in the corner by that pillar up there. All former bows come down to the stage at this time. Come on down, bows. Come on down, bows. Fine gentlemen, fine gentlemen. So we're just going to ask them to give us an update of their progress as far as where they are. Oh, brother, good to see you. Give them an update of where they are and what they're doing. All right, give our former boys another round of applause.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Ryan Harrison. I participated in the Alpha Phi Alpha Beautillion in 2010, representing the Big Time School of Excellence, Cedar Bridge Academy. money right now. I started a new contract for the Department of Marine and Ports. I'm a training branch pilot. There's the pilots that help bring in the ships. So that's my update in reference to my career.
Good evening, everybody. My name is Reverie. I was in the Beautillion last year, 2018, and I am currently at Oakwood University studying finance and music performance.
Hi everybody, I was in the 2018 Beautillion, representing Masonix Academy. I am at Sheridan in Ontario studying architecture, and yeah, that's what I'm doing. It's going good.
God bless one and all. My name is Jordan Simmons-Truck. I represented Cedar Bridge Academy in 2016. I am currently studying overseas at Mount Allison University, aiming to achieve a degree in English, music, and religion.
Good evening, everybody. My name is Jermaine Dears. I'm currently at Impact Mentoring Academy. But next year I'll be disrespectful. But next year, well, in September, I'll be attending Holland College in Prince Edward Island to study hospitality and tourism.
William Aaron Spencer II. I go to Oakwood University. I'm going into my junior year. I'm an accounting major and music minor. So, yeah.
Give our Bulls another round of applause. Thank you so much, guys. Go back to your seats at this time. So good to see the fruits. But you still have a long way to go.
Of course.
Just want to encourage you to be humble.
I try to be humble.
Yes.
It's a work in progress.
Yes. So listen. So I don't want you to try. I want you to be humble. It's a good trait to have.
Okay, let me just give you an example. When you started playing basketball, you weren't good, right? So you had to try to be better. I mean, you might not be good now still. I don't know. So I'm trying to be humble. It's a process. You know, like Joel Embiid says, you gotta trust the process. If it's pizza,
We had the quietness.
you know why? Because they're listening.
They're listening to the disrespect.
I wasn't even disrespectful at that time.
Sarcasm, patronizing, is all-encompassing of disrespect. So one of the highlights of the show is great that they do the service, of course, power, develop character. It's great that they do the talents and the competition because that gives personal fortitude, development, that gives you some more confidence about who you are, who you stand for, and to be proud of that fact. But one of the things outside of the network that makes it a great experience for any young man to have this experience is the bowls themselves coming together and learning more of each other. Somebody who goes to a private school, a public school, somebody who is on this side of the island, on that side of the island, someone who looks at life this way, who look at life that way, and to all to say, you know what, we got one common bond, that we're brothers trying to progress on behalf of Bermuda. Y'all can clap for that. Right? And one of the ways that we showcase this is with a step routine. And so tonight, we want to culminate the night with a celebration of brotherhood, a celebration of the journey, and we want you guys to enjoy the show. So please prepare yourselves for our Bowls 2019 Step Team.
Stepping dates back to Africa. It is a way to show pride and unity. It has a long tradition in Black communities, linking back to Africa and the African Gumboot dance performed by dancers in roots. Modern day stepping uses elements of tap dancing, break dancing, and Afro-Caribbean dance. In stepping, the body is used to make sounds through clapping and stomping. Over the past few weeks, the Alpha Bros have been learning how to step, and tonight, they aim to uplift you and continue this tradition in unity and camaraderie. To show your support, let's give the Alpha Bros a big round of applause.
On stage, Aaron, you stepped in your competition, right?
Possibly.
Can you give us a quick demonstration of what you did when you was there?
These pants a little tight. You can show us a little something.
No, but Aaron.
I'm saying I can't do it, bro. I can't even remember it all.
Encourage him, crowd. Encourage him. It's okay.
You guys
It's
act
okay.
unusual, and it's beyond me.
Yes, okay. No, it's okay. Give him a round of applause for showing up. You know how in some competitions you got first place, you got second place, and then you got participation. We're gonna give him that certificate of participation.
I have stage fright. I'm sorry.
Excuses. Give it up for our step show.
Let's finish this thing off strong. 1, 2, 3, step.
Give it up for our steppers! That was awesome, awesome. Just see, because you guys feel the brotherhood, because you feel the camaraderie with them. That was awesome, man. Give them another round of applause. We now, as they work really hard to put together the final scores, at this time, we do want to thank our sponsors again, and we want to recognize you all here tonight. But first, we want to bring up Toastmasters as they have a prize they would like to give at this time. Give it up for Toastmasters, you guys, one of our sponsors.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Kimberly Keynes-Best, and I'm joined by with Ebony Frey. And for the last 6 or 7 years, we've been partnering annually with the Alpha Bows to assist them with their oratorical skills. We are both members of Bermuda Toastmasters Club, which is an international organization with a presence in over 100 countries, the sole purpose of which is to develop public speaking and leadership. So when we were approached by the Alpha fraternity to come 6 or 7 years ago to assist with the bows, we jumped at it, and every year it's just a joy and delight to see the growth and the development of these young students with a skill that will be carried with them through the course of their lives, whether it be personal or professional.
Yes, good evening, everybody. We have had the pleasure of working with these young men. Give them another round of applause. They are putting up a show for you tonight. This is something that a lot of young women shy away from. But as Kim mentioned, we've worked with them for 6 months. We've kind of taken them through the paces of basic public speaking and a workshop we call Speechcraft. We've seen them go from not wanting to speak to what you've seen tonight. I know as parents, give the parents another round of applause. But this year, working with these guys, I mean, from jump, we just saw the camaraderie. I mean, they have the confidence, they just needed it honed a little bit. So that's what we worked with them for the past 6 months. And just like you, we get a show. We love it when the talent comes up and we get to see them be themselves. The step show, but we are here to present to all of them, but then 2 specific awards based on the speaking tonight.
So we do have a little token for them that we'd like to give them to remind them of their time with Toastmasters. It's just in these little bags, so wherever they are. And I do apologize to the bows that these are St. George's bags. This is all order, Antonio Carvello from Impact Mentoring Academy. It's just a little token for you to remember us. Tanana. Miles Smith from Cedar Bridge Academy. Shakio B. Lightborn from MSA. Demetrius Richardson from Barclay Institute. So this evening, while we were listening to the bows, there were particular things that we were looking for: structure, we were looking for signposting, we were looking at delivery and style. And so I have the pleasure of awarding the best impromptu answer from our perspective. Again, it is our opinion, you may disagree, but for us, the individual who gave the best impromptu answer is from the Barclay Institute.
Tonight goes to who we thought was the best prepared speech. Again, it is a Beautillion tonight, we're looking for all of that feedback we've given you in 6 months to be displayed. So tonight's best prepared speech goes to none other than MSC's Beautillion.
We now like to also give a special recognition for the first time, I think, in the Alpha Beautillion program. We would like to give a gift on behalf of Alpha Phi Fraternity Incorporated to our tabulators who sit on the side over here on their computers, tapping away to put together the scores for the whole 6 months and tonight. Please give them a round of applause as they come out on the laptop. Thank you so much for your time and commitment, man. Really appreciate it. Thank you so much for your time and commitment. Really appreciate it. You guys can also come take a picture. Oh.
Also, we want to thank Toastmasters because they do such a great job with helping the boys improve their public speaking. So thank you, Toastmasters. They like me better than him. The evening's wrapping up. Aren't you guys a little sad? Give me a little. Thank you. That's funny.
No comment. We will now have a representative from XXL to come up as our title sponsor for tonight's event. We'll have Mr. Birch come. I'm sorry, Kim. Can you come on behalf of XXL, please? Give him a round of applause.
See how I did that and not him? Just saying.
We also, they're going to be helping us with the prize presentation. We also asked for our minister, David Birch, if he can also come and help us with the presentations to our boards at this time. On behalf of the ministry. So as we get prepared to announce the winners of the 2019 Alpha Beautillion program, we again want to thank our judges. Please give them a round of applause. And we also want to thank our sponsors because they fund the program. Give them a round of applause. So I think we're prepared for discourse at this time. So first, we would like to acknowledge and please come and greet our minister and our title sponsor for their great participation in tonight's and the 6-month program for Miles Smith and Antonio Carbello. Please give them a round of applause. Well done. Thank you so much. Great job, guys. And third place, second runner-up, the 2019 Alpha Beautillion goes to Sadiq Simons. And the runner-up of the 2019 Alpha Beautillion program is Jaquio B. We will now have all brothers to the stage. All brothers to the stage at this time. All stage at this time before the parents come and attack them. So as we get prepared to close, every year we make a circle of affirmation to bless them. Right here, guys. We simply have a circle to just celebrate them and their journey, and we just give a prayer to just bless them in their journey.